Hi everyone, I'm Cheryl and welcome to the Sewing Room channel. This is really fast to make. If you're experienced at sewing, it takes about an hour of your time. Really easy project. So here it is from the side and then the back. And this is just a little furry piece of fabric I bought. You can use this or any other piece of fabric that you like. This is just a circle that I cut out and then stuffed it. And then I used just a little pom-pom that you can buy in a bag, and it'll have multiple colors in it. You can fill this cone head all the way up to the top if you want, or not fill it and just leave it flopped over. All this takes is 2 fat quarters, or if you don't have fat quarters, you can use a half a yard of each of your fabrics. Take your fabrics and you're going to bring right sides together, or the prettiest side. So here's the front side of one of mine and then the other. I recommend you take 2 colors that are not identical to each other. Otherwise it's going to be hard to distinguish the top from the bottom of the gnome. So I'm going to take these 2 fabrics and bring them front sides together and cut them into an 18-inch square. Then turn your fabric to where you have it corner to corner. Take your ruler and line up those corners, and then you're going to take your rotary cutter and cut, or if you don't have a rotary cutter, draw a line. Place a few pins to hold them together and then cut with scissors. You'll notice now that you have 2 sections. You can actually make 2 gnomes out of these 2 pieces of fabric. So I've got mine all cut, and again, make sure that those front sides are still together, and then stitch across 1/4 inch wide. And if you're going to make 2 gnomes, then make sure you stitch 1/4 inch wide on the second set. Now unfold. You're going to go to your ironing board and press this seam. And I'm going to press this seam towards the dark fabric. So have the dark fabric on top, open it up, take your iron, gently push against that seam so that it's pressed towards your darkest fabric. Now fold your fabric like this, line it up here at the top edge, and then stitch a 1/4 inch wide seam along this edge. After stitching this edge, now open it up like this. Bring this corner to this corner over here. Fold it a little bit. And then pin this edge together and stitch a 1/4 inch wide seam. After finishing this edge, then grab a hold of the point down here and bring these 2 edges together. After pinning it, you're going to indicate an opening here that you're not going to stitch over. So you're going to leave this little opening right here unstitched. So I have 2 pins here. This tells me where I want to stop. So I'm going to start over here at the corner, stitch a 1/4 inch wide seam from here down to here and back stitch. Then skip this area, go over to the next pin, back stitch, and then stitch down to here and back stitch. Again, a 1/4 inch wide seam. Now at each end you're going to cut a little bit of the fabric off. Just kind of cut this point off right down here, and then over here just cut at an angle like this, and then that part is done. Now go over to your opening. Take the edges and fold it back 1/4 inch and finger press it. This will make it easier when you go to close up that edge. And then go and do this side, finger 1/4 inch fold it back, and then finger press. Now open this up and then begin to turn it front side out. Now you're going to go back in through your opening, and this is a piece of wood that's got a somewhat of a point on the end. This came with my polyfill stuffing. So look in your bag of polyfill and go ahead and poke these little corners out up here. And then all you need to do is reach inside here at the other two corners and kind of poke them out, and you'll wind up with this triangular shape at the bottom. I'm using polyfill polyester stuffing. You can buy this at Joann's. I don't live near Hobby Lobby, so I'm just assuming they'll have it there also. You can buy it on Amazon and Etsy.com, and my local Walmart happens to carry it, but not all Walmart stores will have this. So take your polyfill, all you need to do is get a small bag and just pull it apart so that it's not too clumpy together, otherwise you'll have bumps in your project. So reach inside the opening and begin to push it towards the bottom part where that triangular shape is. Push it towards there, and I recommend you fill in the corners first at the bottom, and then once you've got the bottom filled up, then fill all of the bottom in. Then decide how much of the pointed hat here you want to toss over to the side, or if you want it stiff all the way up. So go ahead and fill this to the point where you want it. If you want to add some weight to this so that it sits better and it doesn't rock and roll all around the place, there's a product that is made by the same company that makes your polyfill stuffing, Fairfield. And these are called poly pellets. And I've used these occasionally on other projects. And so you go about, like I said, a third of the way up before you're opening, and take about 3 or 4 cupfuls of these and pour them in. Then go in and kind of massage them in with your stuffing, and it helps to add weight so that it will stand up straight. So then you go ahead and you continue stuffing. Then you're going to close this opening up, and there's something called a ladder stitch that you can use to close it up. If you do not know how to do the ladder stitch, there will be a link below your YouTube screen in the description section that will say how to do a ladder stitch. So it's a really easy stitch. So go ahead and close this part up. Now here is the fabric that I'm using for the beard, and it's got long fur on it, and it's just solid on the back. I bought mine at Walmart, but again, as I said before, not all Walmarts are going to have this. Joann's sells it. I don't know if Hobby Lobby does. You can probably even go on the internet and get it. You don't need a very large piece for this. If you don't have any at all, maybe buy 1/8 of a yard, and it should be wide enough for you to cut it. So you want to make sure that the beard is going down before you cut your fabric. And I'm going to go up 3 inches and across 2 inches and cut. But before you cut, try to push the fur towards or away from the edge that you're going to cut so that your beard will look stringy, because that's how you want it to look. Now, at the end where the fur is coming down like this, move it out of the way, because we're going to kind of curve this bottom edge. So move as much of the fur as you can out of the way. And then you can either make a point down here or a curve. So I'm just going to kind of do a little bit of a curve along here. Move it out of the way and go up. I want to move this out of the way too. I'm going to try to not to cut too much of that fur off on the side. A little bit more here. And turn it over, and there you have your beard. Now I recommend to put this on, you use hot glue. So put a small line of glue right along this edge here and place this right up on the seam right there and press it down. Then once this top edge has set, lift this up and put a little bit of hot glue down there so it holds it down. To make the nose, cut a circle that's about 4 inches across. Then take needle and thread, and you're going to do a basting stitch around the edge. So don't make your stitches too small. So just go in and out all the way around. Once you get all the way around, and just kind of pull on it a little bit. You don't want to pull it all into the center yet. Take a little bit of polyfill stuffing and put it in the middle, and then pull on your thread and pull it all the way in and try to keep the stuffing from coming out while you're pushing it in. Now you're going to take your needle and thread and you're going to go across this way a couple of times, pulling the edges together. Then you're going to go across this way a few times. You want to keep doing that till you can bring the fabric edges close together. So I'm going to go this way, grabbing both sides of the fabric and pull it in. I'm going to do it one more time on this side. Whoops. And now go across the other direction. And as I said, you keep doing that until you can bring it all together. To put this on, this is your nose, put hot glue on the back side of this and then put it right there just above the beard. This is an option for putting this at the end of the hat. It's little pom-poms. You can buy them in packages like this at craft stores. I think I even got mine at Walmart. So put some glue right on one little spot. You don't need a lot. And then just push it against the point at the end. So here is the finished one. So you don't have to make these for Christmas. You can make this for any time of the year. Use different types of fabric. This is actually a loose weave fabric that's used for making clothing. I had a small piece of each of them left over, and that's why I decided to do this. So you can see this fits for any time. Now, if you're interested in other beginners sewing projects, just scroll down to the description section. Scroll down till you see the word more. Click on it and that section will expand open and you will see the links appearing. Now don't forget to follow me on Instagram and make sure you check out my Facebook page. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time and happy sewing. If you like the Sewing Room channel, one of the best ways to show your support is to subscribe by clicking on that red subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. And don't forget to click on share to share this video with your friends. And make sure you click on the bell so you receive notifications for all my new videos. I'm Cheryl. This is Manny. See you next time.